get Fultz back, and you got players that can act, because we're just relying on Cole really to play make right now. So if you can add Fultz back into that might open up the door for somebody like Chuma. But I thought he played all right last night. He had a couple of possessions where I think he grabbed a rebound, didn't even bother looking at anybody else, just ran straight down the floor, got into the post. And I think he got fouled and went to the free throw line. And but he was 4 of 8
under the belt.
4 of 8 from last night, and he shot a 3 as well. So look, you think he didn't have a training camp?
Absolutely.
Chuma didn't have a training camp, and what did he miss? The first 10 games of the season? 10 games of the season?
Something nature, mate. Yeah.
So he's having to get himself up to pace with game time rather than practice, which the team aren't getting a lot of this season. So, it's going to take time. And look, and this is a bit of a pre-warning for when Fultz comes back as well, and JI eventually, that just because they suit back up, they're not going to look like the players we remember them to be from day one. It's going to take time to get their legs back under them and get fit and get healthy and get their conditioning back up.
When you think of the last time that Jonathan Isaac played, and also it's true of Markelle, the last time that both of them played, that starting unit that they played with looks very, very different to what it is now. They have to develop a relationship on court with the guys that are holding those shirts. None of them have played with Cole. None of them have played. Oh, sorry, Markelle's played with Cole. I apologise. But that unit is, none of them have played with Wendell.
Yeah.
None of them have played. Neither of them have played with Franz. You've got to expect that there is going to be some, possibly a backward step even, as players get used to one another. Because we've said it before, and your commentators always draw reference to it. It's one thing having training. It's entirely another thing playing a live game in the heat of battle and finding those positions and sets that work, but it's actually having the confidence of playing them and getting them executed. That's going to take a few weeks to get to a position where we're thinking, this is starting to look good. I agree with you entirely that you can't expect it instantly.
No. And then on top of that, you then got back-to-backs, 3 games in 4 nights. All those sorts of things will creep in later on in the season.
Which you've got to expect, again, minutes restrictions. Are we going to see both of those playing back-to-backs? No. Is it going to be that they have one game, they play one night and not the second night?
I think that's pretty likely. I think both. They'll be on a minutes restriction.
Yep.
And it'll probably be something really, really low, like 10, 15 minutes, I reckon, to start off with. Gradually build that back up. There'll be no back-to-backs. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even do that at all this season, back-to-backs, and just really gently ease them back in this year, get them back on the court and playing, but focus towards the summer that they can really ramp up their conditioning, ready to hit the ground running next season. Because it's going to take them a year to get back up to speed.
I think it's still very hard to judge where we are going to be by the end of the season. I think it's really difficult still, because you don't know whether, we expect that both will be playing by that point. We don't know whether they will or not. All you can hope for is now that we start to see that development with those 2 guys coming into the unit when they do join us, that we are seeing from the starting 5 that we have on a regular basis. It's very difficult to know what we have, and we can get it. Let's get excited and enjoy the Denver result. Yep. Let's enjoy the performance against Houston and Philadelphia, even for the mistakes that there were, because we are seeing development. It's damn sight better than watching what we saw against Milwaukee.